Spirituality is a subject that allows you, just by using your discernment, to conquer your demons and prosper in life. Because we are more aware of what's going on around us. So, good afternoon, my friends. Thank you very much for being here with me. I thank you for your comments, your likes, your donations. Today I want to do a summary of a beautiful talk or contemplation that I heard, and I felt very inspired because it did a really good summary of many of my thoughts that were a little scattered, and I really felt very inspired, so I decided to do a little summary to have them more in my brain and to share that information with you. It is from Richard Rudd, the founder of Gene Keys, and he's done a series of webinars called Contemplation in Action. And this one is Spirituality in Money from November 26, 2015. So here it goes. I hope you enjoyed it. I really liked it. And yes, so he begins his talk explaining what he thinks contemplation is. Contemplation is a deep penetration into the heart of any problem or mystery in life. As you understand how to contemplate, then you begin to move deep into the fabric of your own life, and your awareness, become more defined, self-acceptance, depend on your whole worldview, becomes more compassionate. So this has a very, very deep meaning, and for me it means that in order to enlarge your perceptions, you have to constantly do an introspection and deal with the reality and study what really reality is. What is the difference between the 3D and the 5D, and the difference between duality and oneness, okay? And to become more compassionate means to open the fourth chakra, okay? Like meditation, contemplation, a sense of gratitude is a powerful environmental life path in itself. Anyone can learn it. It's not a technique. It is a capability to ask questions to yourself and face your own fears and improve the quality of the relationships you have with yourself and with others, obviously. You use your mind, heart, intuition that can lead to powerful breakthroughs that ultimately will make your life much easier and more enjoyable. Contemplation, it's actually the capability of learning from mistakes and do it better. Learning by doing. Contemplation allows to change our perceptions. With epiphanies, we are more, or we become more receptive to change. The epiphanies and receptivity, this is a shift on your vibrational and emotional frequencies, okay? And that means that when you are learning something, you are doing the masculine energy, you're learning, and then there's a point where you suddenly become receptive to the information, then you shift, okay? And the talk is about money. Money, he explains a little bit what money is, and I will leave down below a link from a video from Sam Wagner where he explains the difference between feudalistic and capitalist system. And basically we live in a matrix of lack, okay? That it's the opposite of prosperity, and this is what he exactly explains, the concept of prosperity. And the difference that in both cases we have money, but the way we feel about money inside, that's the difference, and that's what I really liked about this talk, okay? So the matrix of lack is that will be always something missing, okay? And this talk really touched my heart, because when I see when I do a retrospection and an introspection from the home I grew up in, there was always something missing. And there was always something missing, and it was not money, it was the awareness and the sense of gratitude and prosperity, okay? And this really, really touched my heart, okay? The matrix of lack means that you are not in touch with yourself. So you think that something from outside is going to complete you, and that's not true, okay? What is going to complete you is a sense of oneness in yourself, is to be able to raise the oils that are made in the pituitary gland go down and up, and you have to learn the lessons in every chakra, and you will become one when the oils reach the pineal gland. Okay, so he says that we existed before money, without money. And he says that the money makes the world roll round and our heads spin, and it's a distraction. Well, yeah, it is. And the question is how to avoid this distraction. I would call it how to pass through the drops of rain in order to be focused, because we always will have seductions for money, the pleasures, as he explained it. Huh? Either you are rich and you have more than enough money, or you are struggling without it. You are poor, okay? Or you're broke. You are still spinning. It drives us crazy. Because money is time and time is money. Money consumes your time. Either you are rich or poor. You are thinking about it, your attention goes to it. Or because you want more or you do not have enough. It makes your life more complicated and less enjoyable. Okay? Actually, it means that it strays you away from the point of life, from the goal of life, from the leitmotif of life. Money has a charge if you give it one. Money can trap you or set you free. It's all of matter how you can hold it inside of you. This is the sense of perception. Huh? This is where money and spirituality meet. The contemplative approach unifies the polarities. So you can only be balanced when you look at both points of view and unify them. Time is money if you learn to slow down, pause and take a deep breath. Self-remembering, like a philosopher called Groot Jif, claim some time of you for yourself. This slow down. There was another talk that I heard about slowing down. Yes, it was a girl about in Denmark, and it's about she did a presentation about the thyroid and the levels of stress, and she mentions that we should slow down. And and actually, we live in a society that everything has to be fast. So you do the opposite. You slow down. Because by slowing down, you have more time. Because by calming down, you learn things by spirit, and which means that you learn more in less time. Okay? We do not have to be slaves to money. First, we need to see how much we have allowed ourselves to become a slave to your ability to see how deeply we have become conditioned to be a slave. A mouton, a sheep. In relation, we spend time thinking about money, worrying about money, trying to make more money. Either you are rich or poor. There was a once in my life that when I used to live with my parents, and the word that my father used the most in a certain period of his life was to buy. And I mentioned that, did you realize that the word that you use the most is to buy? And interestingly enough, there was a period of my daughter's life that she also mentioned, I want to buy this, I want to buy that. And I wrote, did you realize that you spend most of your time saying what you want to buy? Not what you want to become or what you want to do. Or yes. Either you are rich or poor. Once you see your fixation, you can start claiming back large swathes of time back to yourself. So you all have this illusion that having more money buys more time, and this is not true. The only thing that buys us more time is awareness, and that's the most important part of one of the most important concepts he explains. That's the ultimate currency because it is free. It brings you into the moment. We are all looking at the wrong place for more time. We live what Richard Rudd calls the shadow of frequency. We allow ourselves to become a victim of our set of beliefs. And what I would add, the consensus reality. We can escape because the solution is inside of us. It is a spiritual dilemma. Well, we are actually living in a spiritual warfare. because we are constantly being distracted to the point of life, to the most important things that we have to do in life. It is to ascend and to have bliss and to enjoy life. Once you have made this inner turning, once you have learned to slow down internally, then you begin to breathe differently. And time changes. You make more time because you have less distractions. In order to feel calm, you need to breathe deeply. Be in the moment so you make clear decisions. So you are not really operating at the maximum efficiency. That's what it is very important to discern the essential from the redundant. That's the key of life. Okay? Every time you think about money, take a deep breath and smile. Be grateful. After establishing a healthy relationship to money, which means cleaning your beliefs, and there is a video about that down below, it is your subconscious beliefs. There is a technique how to clean them, and from Bruce Lipton and Peter Garlick also explains that. You can rebuild that relationship externally, because we create our reality based on our perception of our beliefs. Exactly. Changing the imprinting of your DNA. That you creating a new life. Okay, so you clean your subconscious beliefs, your unconscious or subconscious programming, right? Then you align your thoughts, feelings, emotions, and actions, and then by shifting your frequencies, and then your new life is gonna change. The Pearl is the program that the Richard Rudd found, is changing your inner relations to money, finding prosperity through simplicity. And simplicity is within yourself, and then by actions you have less. Okay? Prosperity requires simplicity, ability to distinguish the important from the redundant. Okay, it's something that I already mentioned. Prosperity is different from wealth. Wealth is heavy, creates an imbalance. Too much money makes your life much more complex. Unless you give it away, you share it. Because then you buy more stuff. Then you need to manage. Yes, that's something that my best friend mentioned it the other day that we talked about it, that there are more things to take care of. Okay? Prosperity is the water level in your body. So it's like I have enough when you drink enough water, or I have too much when you drink too much water. When you find that the flow, your worries are over, okay? Which is unique in each person. It is deeply connected to your breath. We have to learn to pause, to breathe, to relax, then we are connected to that flow. The Pearl, that's the program that Richard Rudd founded. He explains it's the myth of the Holy Grail, the myth of reconciliation. There is the myth of the Holy Grail, the myth of reconciliation. It's not the myth of redemption. Reconciliation is that when you have two opposite ideas and you find a midterm so that they can maximize. Okay, that's how I see it. So he quotes, in the myth of the Grail itself represents the possibility of wholeness and healing. Although it has been unable to fully heal the king wound despite its power, the great turning point came when Percival approaches the wounded king and asks, "How can I serve the Grail?" This question is encoded in the fabric of every human being. It slips in our DNA. Instead of using the Grail to bring about his own wholeness, Percival performs the greatest act of selflessness, wisdom, and generosity. The question is wise. Because Percival has realized that his own healing is ultimately linked to the healing of the whole. And the reason why this myth is so relevant to our culture is because of generosity. It's to do everything you need for the greater good of all. By offering to serve the whole, Percival has transcended the need for the divine intervention. He has sidestepped the need for transformation. He has realized that opposing forces of nature can only be reconciled through asking the right questions and then leaving the answer. This is very important. This is actually what we all should do. Ask the right questions from the place of love or gratitude, and leaving the answer with joy. We need to realize that our own healing and fulfillment is tied up to everyone else's oneness. The universe is entangled at the quantum level. How can I be the greatest service to the whole? If you make this question the foundation of your life and all your decisions, that your life will take you to a vast adventure. You will live your life, not someone else's life, the highest life with the high life purpose, to follow your bliss, the nirvana, there is a word here, the shamati, or the ecstasy, okay? Shamati is a state of conscience characterized by clarity of perception, no conditioning, and the absence of ego, as above so below, or ecstasy, that it is a transcendent state of wonderment, which is associated with the perfect mental clarity. Okay? Not to follow pleasure. Pleasure leads to misery. Bliss is another dimension. It is to offer your life in service to something far greater than you. That's the foundation of prosperity and generosity. And what about money and spirituality, he asks. Fake spiritualists offer us great teaching. The integrity is not at the right place, perhaps. It's not different from being a politician. Success can change a person. They test our discernment. Big religions are not free. They are rich. They are the monopoly of the spiritual world. And if you are smart enough, you go to the network of the network of global corporate control, and then you will understand who owns everything. Okay? Spirituality, don't forget, we live in a spiritual warfare. Spirituality has elements from all other professions. Spirituality, mistake is to separate spirit from matter, the energy. And if we really understand quantum physics, everything is spiritual. We just have an illusion that it is matter. Spirituality is a subject that allows you, just by using your discernment, to conquer your demons and prosper in life. Become more aware. Money tests your clarity. Use this contemplation to open the flow of money in your life. There is nothing mystical about it. It's practical. You have to analyze your time. How much time do you spend with your family, with your friends, with yourself, working, doing the things you love? An honest analysis by the way you spend your time will reveal so much to you that it is of value. It will show you your unconscious relationship to money, how to pay attention, how to fall down, how to kneel down, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields. What do you plan to do with your life? Okay, this is a question to be in the moment. Okay? Be generous with yourself. Hope and faith is not enough. We need to break the imaginary split we feel inside. Spiritual people in one side wanting to change the world for the better without the money to do it. And on the other hand, you have material people unfulfilled but with all that money. Okay? The next phase of our evolution is to bring the two together, the two polarities. If you are spiritually drawn, you are used to learn about material things. You are here to learn how to make money. Listen to this ancient invitation. May I become richer so I can serve you better. This is very important. May I become prosperous so I can become better. May I become more perceptive. May I become ecstasy or smartari so I can serve you better. That's great. May I become a saint so I can serve you better. May I become joyful so I can serve you better. If it is chanted without ego, guilt, pride, but with compassion, joy, delight, it is authentic. To make money is empowering. Be careful if you achieve material success. Enjoy what you need from it. But if you have access, give it away, share it, be generous, so that you have that flow. Or you will come back and bite you. It is a pendulum. It goes back. It is a cause and effect. Everything is a cycle of life. And success has a deadline. Okay? It's like Dharma, the flow of destiny. And then you are the more connected we feel. Okay. I find this great, beautiful talk. It also makes me think and feel, and I really like it. Thank you very much for being here with me. Comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell button, and for donations or questions, there is the email down below. Bye!